Now, however, it's all tied up between Vici Gaming and Na'Vi. Yes, that's right. They are back in contention for a place in the next round, but not fully back yet unless they win this series. Can they win it, though, Alan? That's the question, because there's an interesting statistical analysis going on right now because this happened in the first game, between whether first pick's better or second pick's better or Radiant's better, or we have this constant question. It seems to be something I've talked about for 5 years now.
Well,
but you found something.
Yeah, we've been putting up throughout the tournament that Radiant does have a very slight edge over Dire. It turns out if you break that down by pick order, as you were mentioning, second pick Radiant versus Dire is only 24 and 29. First pick Radiant against second pick Dire, which is what Vici Gaming had in game 1, is 11 and 1. 11 wins and 1 losses, which means first pick is 40 and 25 overall. And that's what I was arguing last night on the panel, is just so powerful right now.
Yeah, first pick being the most important, and then you kind of hope that the other team picked Dire.
Well, it's yeah, there you go. Hey, absolutely.
that's fine then. First pick, and I've got Radiant. Whoa, awesome, I'm going to win the game. At least 11 times out of 12. What do you put on these, though? Because we've talked in the past about, can you really take too much stock in this kind of stuff? Because, you know, it depends which teams have played and what type of heroes they played. Some are better on Dire, some are better on Red. Can you read too much into it?
We've seen a few tournaments in a row. This first pick is a lot more impactful. We call it first pick, but the strong picks, it's not actually the first pick, that's the key pick. It's the second phase where you get to see every pick your opponent does before you get a counter pick. So you kind of get 2 counter picks in a row, and then you get 2 back, like 4th, 5th pick together at the same time, where it doesn't really feel like there's these ace last picks that win you games anymore. They used to be like, you had last pick of the draft, great, you're going to pick Dendy or SCCC or Miracle, some hero that wins you the game. Not so much the case anymore.
That's better for the game, though, isn't it?
VP is the one team that I think can really pull out that ace 10th pick on a consistent basis. But everybody else, I think Parker's right.
Yeah, it helps when you have such a vast hero pool and can play everything. So that
helps when you have Ramses.
Yeah, he plays everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's other players out there that do have odd hero pools. Do you feel like they're not as powerful now as, say, an Ace at Secret, for instance, who can play lots and lots of cheesy style heroes? Is that still not possible?
I think I think it benefits you in 2 ways. I think you can use it with the 10th pick, but I think the better way to use the versatility is in the 4th overall pick. That you pick a core with that 4th overall pick to close the first phase. You force the enemy team with second pick to respond to it in the second phase, and then that really increases the value of your 2 counter picks.
Yeah, do you feel like some of the players and the captains in particular, do you feel like they get mind gamed? Because there was a draft in Birmingham, which Kuro, it looked like his 3rd pick was a kind of like a bait pick. We're picking this to make you pick something else that we want you to pick. And they didn't fall for it. And then he did it again in pick 4 and made them think that, oh, you want us to pick this? Well, we're not going to do that either. And he kind of ended up with a weird draft in the end, because it was almost like he was trying to force them to play certain heroes he wanted them to play. Are we still there? No, I think we've lost it. Let's get into the draft. It was so mind gaming that I actually lost lost everyone on the panel as well.
If you're current in this situation, that's you with your draft. I would not respond to what you're doing. I'm just going to pick what I want to pick because I have no idea what.
Yeah, and I think that's basically what happened. ROTK did it in the group stages as well. It looked like he was trying to force certain heroes out, but nevertheless, very interesting as we get into our third and final draft.
By the way, look at Vici Gaming. First pick Radiant. They open up that Night Stalker. That's pretty much an uncounterable hero with your 2 and 3 picks. And they
first pick and Radiant.
Yep. At least in game 1, you pick that core like Marana with the 4th overall pick.
But this is good for Na'Vi, I think, because they want to fight all the time. So if they pick Night Stalker as a fighting hero, Na'Vi wants you to fight into them so they can win that game. Because if they play it too slow, I just see Na'Vi losing in the mid game and late game. So you saw last game, they were just fighting so much and coming out on top. So this game, just get a Slark or something like that.
The problem is you don't want to first 2 pick a Slark maybe.
Yep.
And I think this draft highlights why first pick is better, because the kind of core Na'Vi wants is a Slark. Luna's okay too against like the Night Stalk, but you don't want it in the first 2, and those heroes are getting banned out. The second you don't pick him in the first stage. Slark is definitely banned. Maybe not Luna, because we've seen teams deal with it pretty well, but I think for Na'Vi, it's tricky to get those heroes you want because you can't protect them.
I hope this is not a Luna, because that's the path that we went down in game 1.
On exactly the same side for Vici, by the way.
Yep, Vici can't get the Night Stalker with the Lycan, at least, with the Lycan banned on the first stage, but they still show they're very good with Night Stalker regardless. I actually think Navi's considering the Slack pick first two. They know it's going to get banned out. They're just asking themselves, like, are Vici Gaming just going to second pick some, like, Bloodseeker here if we pick Slack? Like,
I mean, that's the
do we
problem,
lose?
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to counter, isn't it, when you've got
Yeah.
3 bans left and 4 picks.
So, I mean, first pick really gets, like, in terms of, like, which pick, like, both teams' first, second, third, fourth, fifth pick, etc. First pick has the better pick in 4 slots. The first pick is better, the second pick is better, and the third and fourth are all better. It's only the last pick where the second pick team has an advantage.
Yeah,
Well, if they were considering it, they've gone Sand King, which is a much safer route.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think this is the kind of open when you're these dual support opens that were almost ubiquitous a couple of months ago. This is really the only time you see them now when your second pick and the other team opens with something like a Night Stalker that is very difficult to directly counterpick. That kind of forces you into the 2 support open. Now, General can play the Sand King, I should say, so that does have some flex value for Navi.
Yeah, we've seen him play it offlane a lot, and not sure what Vici Gaming is playing here, but if you don't get the slot, you can just pick anything that can fight. I've seen Crystallizes plays a lot of CK as well, just any kind of hero like this where you fight and put Danny on the cop or even a puck or something that can fight, because this is how they're winning games, basically, the way I've seen it at least.
I even think with Crystallize, you can even put a hero like PL in that category. The way he plays it is not necessarily for other players. Oh wow, okay. Vici take the Skywrath, and so this has been very unusual for support. Of course, the Night Stalker and the Sand King both flex picks. They can slot over to the off lane, but they are heroes that are still run predominantly as 4 position, and 4 support opens. Extremely rare this tournament.
So, Vici banned the Slug, Navi banned the Axe. Does that seem reasonable?
Could do that.
I don't think you're scared. I think the Night Stalker Sky is more likely the 3-4, although Fenrir does play a 5-position Night Stalker.
Does it push them into making it the 3-4 if they ban the Axe? Is that not what they force them to do?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
what
the
I
Axe
expected.
is like a hugely problematic hero for Navi this game. At least not yet. Maybe they're saying they want to pick that at Will Counter, which is where they could ban it out. But PL Slark, likely the 2 bans for Vici.
Yeah.
Navi, I don't know what you ban. What are you afraid of?
Not sure, but yeah, this Skywrath has been honestly almost a hero of the tournament. I think he's just shown up from nowhere, and he's so strong. It's great laner, and we see sometimes when the position 4 gets on farm, and all of a sudden he's got an axe, and he just does so much damage. You just need some kind of combo with him, so you can get your ult off, which you don't have just yet. So
It's the 13th pick of the tournament so far for Skywrath, which I think, by my reckoning, makes it the most he's been played all season long.
Yeah.
Certainly been played a number of times over the last few months alongside usually the Axe, funnily enough, but not prevalent.
Yeah. 7-6 record. That's perfectly respectable for that amount of picks. And good call on the Axe ban, by the way, Paul. You had that one.
Seems the most obvious. I mean, for instance, I think the reason that I always come back to it is because pretty much every one of the last 6 or 7 tournaments, that combination has been played an awful lot.
Yeah. It was Liquid who did it first at Epicenter.
Yes.
They just first 2 picked it, then LG is like, oh, let's try this. This looks good. And they did it, and they won with it. And now everyone's like, yeah, Axe Skywrath.
it's that lane that's so scary, because you just W with Battle Hunger and run at them, so they have to back and they can't get a deny or something.
Yeah, it's the Slark ban as we thought would be alongside the PL.
It's just Skywrath is so, it's just pure mana efficiency, really. I mean, he could just nuke, right-click, die, and come back to lane, and he's still constantly applying pressure. And with those nukes, that damage zoning you off the creep wave, that Battle Hunger, as Bulldog said, just so much damage over time.
I think there's a good chance we see Crystallize on Morphling again. It isn't like a traditional fighting hero, but you have to tri lane with it, and if Vici Gaming try and pressure it, similar thing happens to last game, where you can actually kind of hold your own in that 3v3, and once Morphling gets a few levels, he actually starts to come out on top. This seems to be a hero they play very well around.
You do have the dual silence to worry about, it's got to be said, as a Morphling.
Team pick.
That's got to make you think at least a little bit.
Radiant team pick.
They're going to go Luna,
Okay,
though.
they'll go Luna again.
After bang Lone Druid. This is still a very open pool for heroes that you can pick against this Luna.
Yeah, I agree.
Not a huge fan of that. It's not really fits how they play either. Like if you have that Morphling, you have that hard carry late game. If you go even, or you can do the fighting with the CK or something like that, or Slark, but obviously that hero's banned. But now Luna, That here can get heavily pressured as well in the lane.
I mean, they came back with the Monkey King counter to Luna in game 1, and I wouldn't be too terribly surprised to see that with one of their second phase picks here.
Maybe consider the gyrocopter now that you're not worried about the Morphling. Vici
Sure.
Gaming's had a lot of success with gyro, even though it's fallen off a little bit with the nerfs. I wouldn't mind seeing it just because this is such a matchup that is focused around team fighting.
I can't 100% rule out Morphling. If you go back far enough, Dendi has actually played Luna mid, but that's been
Not
quite
sure if
some
that's
time.
been successful though.
I don't think you want Daniel on a Luna mid.
No,
to
I
get
don't.
through to Saya.
I do not think so. But I think if there comes a point when it is a good enough game for Crystallize on Morphling that you at least
Yeah.
consider it. That's all I'm saying.
If you pick Gyro and they pick Morphling, I think you're okay with that if you're Vici, though, is
Sure,
the thing.
sure.
It's like at
Fair
that point, you're
enough.
like, they just picked Morph Luna. You can easily draft around that.
Dire team pick.
Underlord.
Okay.
11.
Definitely like
Classic
that.
hero for him.
Yep.
Some games he'll go 0-5 in 10 minutes, but he always seems to get his farm, get his items.
I like that against the Luna. Underlord just plays so well against any of these spread damaged cores. He has some. He can build an early pipe to mitigate a lot of that magic damage coming out of the first 3 picks of Na'Vi.
They got pretty tanky heroes
10
right now.
seconds remaining.
And one of the reasons Luna is also really important is kind of good because of the Night Stalker. The vision is one of the most important things in Dota, honestly. So having a hero that gives night vision against Night Stalker is pretty damn important.
And Navi probably saving Dendi's hero for last if we
I would
go by
assume
their
it's
typical formula.
General's hero now.
Yep.
I don't think you want to put Sand King as a 3.
Still have a Beastmaster if you want something to deal with potential BKB carriers on the other side.
He's played a lot of Brewmaster, but it's not very good against Underlord because he can just ult out of that.
I like they've got the glimpse though for the Underlord ult, which is at least
Yep.
something nice.
General does also play an Omni Knight,
Radiant
which is a
team
nice
pick.
compliment. Oh no, okay.
Okay.
Get the Doom.
Wonder if they're gonna stick with that 4 position Doom more.
I hope that this is 3 Doom for
Yeah.
Sand King, but
Yeah, I think we
You could
mostly
even maybe go on aggro or something like that and put Doom against Underlord. Not the best though. And one of the problem with Doom is you ult someone and Underlord just saves him by ulting out and just resetting the fight. You don't care so much about Underlord's
Yeah.
ult
10
cooldown,
seconds remaining.
whereas the Doom is kind of essential for a team fight.
and in fact we've seen a couple of
5
counter
seconds
picks of the
remaining.
Underlord against the Doom in the last couple of days, so it's a little doubly puzzling that Na'Vi would pick it into.
And we saw a terrible Doom performance
Yeah,
in
I
game
was gonna
1
point
because
that out.
there was no one to Doom, and guess what? 3 heroes, no one really to Doom yet. Vici Gaming could pick around this.
Well, you could.
Unless they switch this to Lil.
The Doom?
Yeah.
Well,
Nah.
regardless of who it's on, there's not many good Doom targets is the
Right.
thing. It's
Dooming
just-
Underlord is not that bad because you deny him from clicking the pike
Sure.
and or I mean the pipe,
Pipe
and
and Crimson.
yeah, so it's not terrible
Dire
against
team
him.
back.
Now there's
There
the
it
Monkey
is.
King though, countering the Luna.
And countering the Doom a bit in the lane.
It's
Doom
true.
has 0 armor pretty much, so Monkey King is really good in that lane.
You don't care too much about being doomed as well. We saw that in game 1.
Now again, the thing that Na'Vi have here, the key difference with game 1 is they have that Sand King.
10
They have that
seconds
short
remaining.
cooldown disable hero that can build a blink, can initiate. So they're in a much better position, I feel,
seconds
against this VG draft, although I still give Vici the edge their first 4 picks.
Yeah. Game 1 was a Death Prophet that maybe what Navi want to ban out. Because Vici Gaming right now do not have any way to take objectives, but Medusa gets banned.
Okay.
Could have been a good Medusa game, definitely.
Yeah.
Wonder if Navi's also setting up for a potential CK last pick with that ban.
Yeah, that's.
But no, they've already got Luna, so they
That
need a
would be
mid hero. They
pretty
need
hard.
Dendi. That doesn't work.
They need a
Yeah,
Dendi
they-
hero
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
No. Never mind.
Oh, well,
Ignore
are we
that.
gonna get the? Are we gonna get Death Prophet versus Lena Part 2?
I don't know if they want to go back to
10
Lena the way they
seconds
lost. If you lost with it previously just in this series, you kind of don't want to go back to
I-
it again.
it's-
That
See,
said, he was really good on it. I
Yeah.
mean, there wasn't an issue with the 1-2, was there, in that game?
I think I think your 1-2 position have outplayed the enemy 1-2 in both games, and they outplayed them on those very same core matchups. If Vici want to give you that same core matchup,
Radiant team
I
pick.
don't know.
No, not going
Okay.
to beat because they
Yep,
ban it.
there you go.
All right. Well, maybe that was what they were hoping for. Maybe they've planned for something else.
I think if you're Vici and you're doing the simplest thing possible, you just pick Death Prophet here.
For sure. Or, I hate to say it, but Dragon Knight is a possibility.
Alan.
I know.
Hopefully they've looked at the stats. That Hitter's like 20% winner or something?
5 and 16.
Yeah,
Not
so you don't
good.
pick it.
DK with those
23.8%.
Oh, okay.
All
All right.
Kunkka,
Ori
okay.
Kunkka.
Well, they're going to go the other way.
If you
Okay.
can't beat him.
that put. I wonder if Dendi now considers the Death Prophet.
Or whether
Maybe
Dendi is
once
just going to take the other side of that matchup
the
and pick the TA
Yeah.
and school the Kunkka. Show Ori how that lane is supposed to
He
go.
loves that hero.
He does.
I
You were
don't-
asking for it too.
He,
You want
for
the
a
Dendi
very
TA.
long time, held the all-time Pro Dota 2 kill record, 40 kills on his TA.
And it's best way to know if how a matchup should go, because if you play, you see that Kunkka lost the lane, or he won the lane, but now Dendi plays it the TA and wins, you know that Dendi's just better.
Yeah.
But TA is always risky because, yeah, that X mark.
That said, yeah, they're going to take the Death Prophet. Just too safe an option, and the silence
Yeah.
just has AoE silence has so much value against this Vici lineup.
Yeah, and the objective's really good here. Can go Roche, push towers easily, and they have the initiation from Sanking this time around. So, yeah.
All right, draft done. We're going to just stay as long as we can to find out who is playing what, but I think we're pretty much there anyway. I think that's
Yeah.
fairly obvious. I just wanted to see whether we could see which of the players was going to pick up the Doom. Did you manage to see that?
I did not.
No.
I did not.
All right. I don't know if that affects your predictions or not. Oh, we go.
Oh, they're gonna-
yeah, so
well,
no,
we don't
that
know.
haven't picked it up yet. So
okay.
it's Velio. Okay.
Oof.
It's going to be the same lineup,
You're going to make it hard on us, huh?
and it's General picking up the Sand King. So, okay.
Vici need to survive. Like their lineup comes online much later on with Kunkka Monkey getting farmed. It's an awkward 3 cores though. 3 melee cores, not the strongest lanes. I think Na'Vi will take game 3.
Okay. All right. I'm slightly surprised. Henrik.
I was hoping they would take VG so we could do the curse thing against and Navi would win, but
The reverse curse.
Sorry,
Yeah.
damn it, I messed it
no,
up.
but I'm going to say Navi as well, for the same reasons you said.
Okay.
Triple melee core, Monkey King, I'm
Oh,
not too
no.
impressed with that hero.
Oh, no.
So let's go
right.
Dendi.
I can't believe I coming into this. It would have taken a lot to get me to say I was going to pick Navi in any of these games, but I really do like their draft quite a bit better, and I think their cores have just outplayed Navi.
Holy
Now we're
Moses.
counter cursing. Now
I
this
know.
is not
shit.
good.
Sorry,
Na'Vi
guys.
fans,
All right.
we messed up.
Well, they've done what they've done, and they are who they are, and you know how this works out usually. Apologies to Na'Vi fans. Our panel have unanimously gone for Na'Vi in game number 3. Let's see how it all breaks out and whether VG take this one as the curse normally dictates. Let's head back to your commentary team for game number 3.
Thank you so much, Paul. Finally, the panel has seen the light. All Na'Vi all day. Trent, which side of the camp do you fall on?
Dude, I don't know. You've just been on point so far. I
You
can't
know?
believe you've convinced them. Your enthusiasm has made them think Na'Vi's going to win a best of 3 against VG Gaming.
Yep.
I'm not so easily convinced. I can't lie. I mean, yes, triple melee core, a little dangerous, but that vision control, man, it's still
Yeah.
there. I feel like we got it again. The Night Stalker, the Monkey King. And I feel like Na'Vi looked at game 1 and they said, hey, man, we almost won that game. You know, that was pretty close. And so
Yeah.
they're going back for a very similar strategy. They're going to try it once more, but we're still finding that, you know, Velor's got to step up. There's no question.
Yeah, there is there are a lot of eyeballs on this Doom right now.
Yeah.
Game 1 was very rocky, very low impact Doom. Pretty much only doomed the Death Prophet once she already had her ult out. It worked a couple of times, didn't work so well a few others.
Now, mind you, imagine if they had a Doom that hit some spells that game.
That's true.
I mean,
It would have been a completely different game.
It would look pretty good. It felt like he just had a really hard time because of those engagements. Because he was also in the support role, which he is again, it's very difficult to get into that initiation item. Now, mind you, game 2, he found his way into some better items thanks to the kills, so maybe he can kind of get the same thing rolling here. Get involved a bit more, get a Shadow Blade, get a Blink Dagger, something like that, so that he can be involved and have an impact in this game.
Yeah, definitely concerned on the side of Vici Gaming, having 4 melee heroes, 3 melee cores, Luna, Death Prophet, Sand King, Disruptor, all heroes that are pretty good against heavy melee lineups,
Yeah.
especially Death Prophet and Luna. They love to be in those close quarters,
it's-
glaives bouncing around, ghosties doing damage left and right. Even multi-hero silences get a lot easier for the Death Prophet. These mid-game teamfights are going to be difficult for Vici.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Eclipse, Exorcism, Static Storm, and Epicenter. These are 4 ultimates that are very happy to have some clumped opponents. So they are going to be a little bit cautious, but, you know, BKB comes out for the Kunkka.
True.
BKB comes out for the Monkey King.
Great BKB game, no
Yeah,
doubt about
and,
that.
And maybe they just kind of look like game
But
1.
look at these lanes, though, Trent. A little bit of trickery from Na'Vi General. He heads mid. on the Sand King to go up against the Kunkka.
Okay, we've seen this whole Death Prophet situation against Kunkka isn't all that great, right?
Yep, so she'll go off lane with the Doom. We have seen a lot of off lane Prophet, although it's felt like a lot of them haven't really done that well when put in the off lane. But we'll see how it fares this game. Up top, the Disruptor Luna, pretty stock standard for Na'Vi, but they're going to feel the pressure of this dubious duo, Skywrath and Underlord. Once they get a couple more levels under their belts, these two are going to be able to put on a lot of pressure. The Firestorm with the Arcane Bolts is so annoying.
Yeah, this is a relatively weak dual lane. You know, Luna, Disruptor, like, ugh. I mean, you make up for it with the fact it's a Luna. You get a little bit of the aura going on. You can get some right clicks, but man, Disruptor is not exactly the dream position, 5 to just dual lane, whereas you have Underlord, Skywrath, Mage, two of the more frustrating people, and that spam.
Yep, that's about to be a first
burn.
blood. It's so close. Gets down to 1 or 2 HP, but Crystallize lives. Now the potential turn onto Lanham. Lil trying to pursue, and he finds it. It's Na'Vi that get the advantage. They'll strike first in the top lane.
Yeah, Lil's going to have to look for a TP out here, maybe. Can find his way to safety.
Yeah, it's going to be close. The Firestorm, level 1, very underwhelming, and Lil will be able to walk back. So,
All right.
just like that, the underpowered dual lane does find a kill, but now Lanham's back with full mana. Crystallize hangs around a bit too long, and he's just going to feed one right back the other way. Happy birthday, Lanham.
Yeah, he does spend most of his gold, though, at the very least, and we'll get something out of this. Loses about 70, and they get the first blood, so in the end, it's still worth it.
All right. So let's check in mid lane, how we look in here. Kunkka Sand King, relatively even. Kunkka does have the advantage, and I think that's pretty expected. It's not a mid matchup we see too much.
Yeah, it's just like the Caustic, you still have to deal with this as a melee hero up against the Sand King. Yes, Kunkka is very obnoxious and annoying because of the way he can go for the denies, but Sand King kind of punishes you on every single deny you want to go for, right?
You can see it right here.
Exactly. He tries to approach the wave, Caustic Burst, Burrow Strike, punish, 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 and he doesn't have a lot of sustain. Yes, he can X TP back home and everything, but that, you can only do that so often. You're not Ember.
Yeah, that's very true. Down bottom, double damage was picked up by Fenrir, so it's a little bit of extra pressure in the lane perhaps. Him and Paparazzi doing pretty well in this bottom lane. 7-4 on the Monkey King, 11-5 on Dendi's Death Prophet, so looks like it is still going in favor of Na'Vi, but not a huge discrepancy. We'll see how it kind of settles down. The double melee is a little bit rough against the Doom and the DP. And actually, there's the initiation, the net right into the Spirit Siphon. It is level 2 from Dendi, and Paparazzi's in a lot of trouble. He does get off the Jingu Mastery, but is it going to be enough to turn this around? Now Dendi's the one getting low. Velar will finish off that kill onto the MK, and Fenrir does have to head back to the tower.
It is so hard to go for kills on Monkey King in lane like that. You really have to just fully commit. You can never just half-ass a kill attempt, or he gets the Jingu stacks. He gets one good balance strike onto you, some creeps, and he can go all the way back up to full HP. So
now up top, Lanham in a little bit of trouble trying to run away.
Same time bottom though, Fenrir also gets netted and burned.
Yep, looks like Fenrir is going to TP out, but Lucent Beam will finish off Lanham. Now 11. Left behind against 2. Gets off a pretty good Firestorm. There's a lot of return damage to Crystallize, but another Lucent Beam after the stick charges should secure this kill for the Dire. Na'Vi now leading 4-1 in the first 5 minutes. Mid lane, they're going to maybe get this kill on General, so it's a good rotation that way. Ori now getting one up on the scoreboard himself.
Oh, getting that edge too. So important to get 6 on the Kunkka. Not really that big of a deal for the Sand King in this laning matchup, but Ori's just going to have total kill threat on the Sand King because of this. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Paparazzi just kind of continuing his way in the last sets. I guess likely to be another BKB game, or rather Battle Fury game for him. Keep
Again,
up.
A lot of action here. 11 able to survive thanks to the infused raindrops as Crystallize tried to give him that last Lucent Beam, and it might actually be enough to turn around for a solo kill on Lil. Crystallize does need to be careful here. 11 comes out of the tree line, both very low HP as multiple kills breaking out as Dendi goes down in the bottom lane with a rotation from Lanham. Though up top, it's not over yet. General makes this rotation. Again, the infused raindrops buying him some time, but the bounty rune picked up by the Sand King.
Nice play, knowing the Underlord was going to go back for that. And so even though Lil ends up dying, they don't get to kill the Underlord right away. Eventually it'll come their way, but yeah, Dendi losing his life at the bottom thanks to these nighttime plays from Fenrir and the rotations from Lanham. And now with level 6 there on Ori, General is just trying to body block the wave, trying to get himself to a safe spot to try and keep farming here.
Yeah, 21 last hits on the Sand King compared to the 31 of the Kunkka, so it is certainly a
Ori's
decent
gonna go
disparity
bottom here.
Yeah, there's a rotation from Fenrir around the backside. He wants to go in onto Dendi. The Primal Spring does connect on 2. Ori now with the follow-up. It falls a little bit short, and Fenrir kind of gets turned on. 30 HP, makes it into the tree line. It's a missed opportunity for Vici.
Yeah, can't quite find the slows or the boundless strike and everything to set up for that X mark. Ori, I think maybe a little greedy there, going for the boat and the torrent, not just like committing for the X.
Definitely agreed with you there.
Oh, that's fine for General, though. He leaves the lane mid, means he can actually clean up the whole thing and start catching up in terms of CS. And likewise, Lanham happy to absorb that wave mid for experience and gold.
11 can be able to survive this time after getting clipped by the kinetic field. And pretty good top lane for Crystallize.
Yeah, he's been great.
Not free farming, but still having a pretty solid time. Those kills adding to that net worth.
I think, you know, 1 kill, 2 assists. Just, again, the idea of having just the solo disruptor against a relatively difficult dual offlane, he's doing quite well.
Yeah, fair point there. Mid lane now, General went for the initiation onto Lanham. Torrent from Ori was off the mark, but ooh, that Tidebringer gets General low, and he's going to be forced back to his own high ground.
At level 7 at this point. In terms of our, like, kind of game plan here, I mean, we're looking towards, like, the level 6 on the Doom. But realistically, the Blink Dagger on the Sand King will be that sort of big step for us, it kind of feels like. See if he actually commits fully in towards the drums before it, just because he is in the mid. If he were to get an earlier Blink this game, it doesn't look nearly as good as it did last game for Vici Gaming. I feel like with the Templar Assassin and the Mirana, there's a lot more potential plays that could be done. You get an early Blink this game, and there's not really. You got a Death Prophet and a Luna, who Death Prophet, you know, maybe if you can set up a good kill and go for some towers, but she still needs a while to come online, and Luna really needs some time.
Yep, up top, Glimpse onto 11, but he's got a TP rotation. It'll be Paparazzi, and they've got a lot of damage coming in onto Lil. Primal Spring secures the kill that way. Also a rotation from Lanham. Arcane Bolt will repel Crystallize, and it's just a quick kill for Vici.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can stay up. He might need a TP somewhere. I think he's probably just considering where that could be, or if he's going to get some support backup. Paparazzi's on the hunt.
Tree Dance, giving a little bit of vision.
Half a level to go here for Lana. Maybe waiting on that before they want to scare away Crystallize.
Yep, definitely some potential to find a kill with that Mystic Flare. They have rotated the Underlord now down to the bottom lane. Maybe put a little pressure on that TP and also get some space himself.
Yeah, Doom walks mid and gets some good ward stand, but Velor, he's not getting any experience right now. He's having a hard time finding any kills, and it's 3 more minutes of daytime, though, so I guess a little bit more time for them to work.
So Ori, level 8, potential rotation, but this is a tough one to get. Double damage on General maybe makes it easier. There is a stun inside of the Doom. That hoof stomp gives them the extra control they need, and just like that, Ori falls.
Very nice. No chance for him to make a play with the boat or anything, but Crystallize also in trouble. Oh, the Eclipse, I don't think it's enough.
It does a little bit of return damage. General rotating, he does still have that double damage rune, but won't be able to get the stun over the tree line, and they will get away with that pick. Both teams now losing a big core. And again, this Sand King, #1 on net worth. Let's see if he can transition a little bit better compared to how the Sand King did in our last match.
And, I mean, we've looked at the pairings in terms of, like, what an early Blink Dagger does for you, but at the same time, he also might need it for that defensive edge just to, like, maybe guard his Luna. Maybe he can't make that many plays, but if they're going to keep focusing on Crystallize, a Blink Dagger is going to allow him to TP in and actually make counter-initiation plays the way that you want your Dream Sand King games to go like.
Well, now they'll find Paparazzi. He does have some support inbound. Ori as well as Lanham are here. The boat combo is on the way. Monkey King does live, but General getting a little bit low. They
Drink
just
up, though, the rum.
don't quite have that damage thanks to the Kunkka.
You're drunk. Movement speed increased by 10%. Temporary numbness to incoming damage. It's a great buff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the Admiral's rum, Trent.
Yeah.
Here it's quite good.
It's not quite as good as the Huskar one. You're just, you know, you're on fire. Big fan of that debuff.
All right, so bottom lane 11. He's been pretty quiet for the last couple minutes, but he's got the Hood of Defiance queued up here. So, yeah, pretty good game for it. A lot of magic damage on the side of Na'Vi.
Yep, excellent game to be the Aura builder. You just feel so tanky. You're helping out the team. There's a Doom who, honestly, if you tank the Doom, that's part of your job, really.
Sure.
Might lead to some preemptive pipe poppings, just trying to make sure they're ready for the fights, but that's fine. The only downside to getting doomed, honestly, for him is not having the Dark Rift. You know, if you get off the early pipe, you get off the early Crimson Guard, you still won't have your panic button, which can be a real bummer. But Ori focusing down here.
Perfect setup from Lil. The glimpse back into the Static Storm Kinetic Field combo, but there is a rotation. Sand King secures the kill with an Epicenter. Now 3 more from Vici have made this rotation. And I don't know if it's going to work out.
No.
11 goes down straight away. Dendy takes some burst damage, but that Exorcism hurts. Vici do not want to fight into this, but Fenrir still going back in. The kinetic field locks him in place. There's the Burrow Strike stun, and they lose 3 in the mid. Lanham on the run. Looks like he'll be able to make it out, as now even the Monkey King is rotating. All 5 heroes from Vici have rotated mid, and they don't get a single kill out of it.
Yeah, Sticks and Wands just did so much work there for Na'Vi.
I mean, Trent, they get 3 kills mid, and the 2 cores are farming in the off lane. Luna's free farming, and Velor's got all this space to himself down bottom. He's now level 6 with the Doom. That was incredible for Na'Vi.
This is what they need, you know. But again, this is like game 1. You know, they had some trouble transitioning that lead, but
This feels a
I
little
already
different.
feel like it's set up different. You know, it is better because the Doom's getting that gold. He needs something this game. The Sand King is guaranteed the gold, so our 2 people that need to like kind of make and create these fights are going to be ready in this game. At least it feels that way.
Sure.
Whereas previously, yes, the Luna and the Lina were super farm. Denny and Crystallize looking great, but everyone else on the team was so far behind they couldn't actually aid them in the team fights. It's better, honestly, to build up these side pieces first and then get that gold onto our 1 and our 2, because at least in that point, we're going to be able to fight, you know? Looks like he will commit for the drums, though, on General. After saving for a long time, he does finish them up, just decides that maybe the Blink won't be the most valuable thing at the moment. And a full HP tower here being threatened by Paparazzi. They go for the smoke play all the way around here, saying, look, is anyone coming to defend this thing? Because it's going to be a while if he just tries to chip it away, but it looks like Na'Vi are wise to their ruse here.
Yeah, certainly seems like it. Good news for Vici to let this Monkey King get a little bit of space. He does have the Battle Fury queued up and still a lot of farming to do to pick up that farming tool so he can keep farming in the mid-game. But dodging the gank, certainly good news for Na'Vi, especially with that Exorcism down. Always have to be a little bit wary of your opponents looking to seize the day when they know Exorcism is not available. Already 900 gold on General towards that Blink Dagger post-drum, so this farm still continuing to be very impressive.
And his levels are great, too. Like 10 and a quarter, whereas Ori, throughout that whole smoke, he's only level 8. So even when you find people, the range on X just is not far right now. You know, it almost doubles by the time you're getting up to level 11. Or level 10 if you skip your town, of course, but you don't want to do that when it's 40 damage.
Yep. Jumps 200 range per level on that X, so definitely one that scales very nicely. 11 did make a little pit stop for Arcane Boots before, I guess, the Hooded Defiance still has it queued up and hasn't bought any of the core pieces yet. Some tower exchanging going about. Up top, Paparazzi finished off that tier 1, but down bottom, it's Crystallize, who will secure a tier 1 tower of his own.
Yeah, I think you're okay with this as Vici Gaming, honestly. Doesn't really feel like you want to take these engagements at the moment, although it is nighttime, so then again, maybe this doesn't feel that great, because once we're into the daytime, you really can't take these fights. But they need something on Ori, and they're not just getting it at all. And he's going to get caught.
Another setup, and I don't know what they can do about it. Maybe they'll turn on to the Sand King, but Monkey King, he's here. He drops the stun. They will grab Sand King in return. It's a huge reaction out of Vici. It's only 4 of Na'Vi here. If that's all they get, Na'Vi might be okay with that, because that was space created for the Luna. Crystallize put a little bit of chip damage on that bottom tier 2, and now he's up top with even more space to farm.
Yeah, it is a lot of gold, though, and they're going to be going back the other way for their own objective here. So I think overall, Vici Gaming very happy with this.
Okay, we'll see if they can get this tower. Exorcism just about to expire, so tough for Na'Vi to really force something here.
I think no Static Storm is just way too hard.
Yeah, 45 seconds on that. But off to the side.
No, there's no blink.
Fenrir goes in onto the Disruptor. He's getting pretty low, but the Shrine's there. Silence, but now the stun. They're going to catch Night Stalker, and Fenrir's in a lot of trouble. He goes down. The tower could still get denied as Crystallize comes in. That illusion not going to be able to do the job. They get a kill and a deny. So what do you think now? Worth the Sand King?
Yeah, definitely not worth for Vici there in that moment. So yeah, in the end, Na'Vi looks like they're going to get the good trade here.
The roller coaster of emotions from happy to sad as Doom comes out on Kunkka. That is one sad pirate. However, he does have a free taxi service, but 11 gets glimpsed. Beautifully done if it works. And it does. Secures
Okay.
the kill on Ori. Lil, what a player.
Yeah, oh my lord, is deserved. Well done.
That was pretty sweet.
Lil finally finding his stride here on Disruptor. It only took 3 games. And now he's finally getting somewhere. So, looking good.
A lot on the line here, Trent. 4K net worth lead for Na'Vi at 16 minutes. Game 3 elimination here in the lower bracket of the Supermajor.
Oh, they've got another glimpse here. They have the ward vision.
And they'll grab him. Ben Rear
Surprise.
gets pulled out of the kinetic field right into a stun from General, but Dendi does get blasted down by the Skywrath
can't
Mage.
commit.
This might not be the fight that Na'Vi really want to take. Dendi's in a lot of trouble now. They'll lose 2.
Yep.
Another big reaction from Vici.
Those kills have to be so quick when they're next to the shrine like that, too. And obviously, if he doesn't get silenced, he's going to pop the nighttime, and you're going to be very sad. Wow, that was a big swing. 1,200 gold.
Big kills for Vici there. Luna does have her Mask of Madness, looking towards the BKB up next as she continues to farm the Dire jungle and pressure this top lane.
And she went for the Dragonlance first, too.
Yeah.
So just trying to tank up a little bit here, mostly up against the Kunkka, I would assume. Make sure she will survive that combo.
Monkey King on the other side. Not that far away from the Battle Fury. We are 17 minutes in, so definitely looking to have that completed as soon as possible, but pretty much just a recipe away. So not much longer. 11 with some fancy footwork up top. We'll be able to juke him out and make it back to his tower.
Yeah, no Doom here, and even if he had it, probably not going to toss that one out. But the Blink Dagger is nearly done. Roll General here, just as clear up this wave. And once that's done, I would feel pretty comfortable here. You have the Dragonlance, helps out just a little bit with the sieges. You can kind of now play at the tower as Na'Vi and not instantly commit the Exorcism. You can just chip away at the Luna. If they try and contest, you pop it. You see the nighttime come out, you pop it. But until then, you just let Luna go to work.
Yeah. With the Dragonlance, like you said, it's a little bit easier for Crystallize to siege these kind of towers. We will see the smoke from Na'Vi now as
Radiant
they look to
get
wrap around the
scan.
back.
They see them.
Beautifully done. But will they find the right angle? 11's in the trees.
They're creating
General
2 fights again, though.
tries to guess for it. They force out the Dark Rift, so 11 will TP back. His team not going to take the taxi.
Right there, though.
Okay. Doom still in the front lines, gets silenced. Ori, the one that's very low with the Static Storm kinetic field, now glimpsed back. Great stun from General. Kunkka goes down first. The Wukong's command comes out. Buyback from the Kunkka.
They need a Doom here, Velor. You can't go down again.
He's going to get brought down without using the Doom, but Crystallize is still ready to party. He's on his way back in. Silence, the boat connects. Epicenter from General. Stun on 2. Big-time damage as 11 falls. Ori dies back on the Kunkka, and they will find the Monkey King as he tries to TP out. Trent, I think this qualifies as a disaster.
I would say so. You don't need the Doom if you just keep on chasing. They turn around there. Man, Dendi held that Exorcism for so long. I wasn't sure it was going to work out, but they found that turnaround there at
now
the
they get
end
the
by
tier
the
2.
shrine. Yeah, exactly. He's going to be able to commit in for that and give themselves a over 4K lead right now.
Na'Vi pulling on the heartstrings of fans as now mid lane, Lanham, he'll be isolated. He's completely alone. They'll use a drum charge. The Urn's already ticking him down. And one more click from that fiery sword as Velor gets another kill up on the scoreboard. All the while, that tier 2 up top is turned to rubble.
Yeah, Velor's got a Spirit Vessel done this game, so feeling pretty good. Had the Crimson last game, I believe. And now just going to offer an element of sustain. And very important in these Luna drafts, if you ever want a chance to just win the game and you see this moment, the last thing you want to happen is that you run out of sustain like Team Spirit and lose the game. So make sure you have an Urn on your team,
Yes.
because they would have won.
If Spirit had an Urn, I think that game would have gone a lot differently. AKA, they would have killed the throne.
Yeah, get an Urn, kids. It's a good item. So
That's,
you're able to heal everybody up, take advantage of the fights that you win, make sure you're full HP, take objectives.
Look at you. You've got everybody's back out there, Trent, just helping the world one MMR at a time. Well, BKB not that far off for Crystallize now. Basically just a recipe as he's got the Mithril Hammer and the Ogre Club. I have to say, Velor's Doom has had much more impact already in this game than pretty much the entirety of game number 1. That's
No, he's looking good. Velor,
Good
he's
bit of
stepping up,
redemption.
man. He has shake off the nerves. He's feeling fine.
that's an important thing to be able to do. No
I
doubt.
feel like we've talked a hell of a lot about Na'Vi so far this game.
Yeah, so what's going on with Vici? What's the game plan here? I mean, they do have the Battle Fury on Monkey King.
Right.
That is a big turning point. Paparazzi really hasn't wanted to contribute to these fights quite yet. So this is something. But what else do they need?
It's only step one, of course, as Ori. He's the big question mark for me on Vici Gaming so far in this game.
He's the big X for me, a.k.a. dead. Again.
The X mark.
Wait, 6 deaths in 21 minutes. He's a third of his team's deaths right now.
This is just not the Ori that we know and love. He just can't get anywhere on this hero. Started with the matchup against the Sand King. It went pretty well, of course, but then he just instantly started rotating and like looking for kills, and he just kept on missing out.
Yep, and just with that quick pick, Na'Vi transitioned into yet another objective. That's a tier 2 mid, and that net worth lead up to 8K.
Meanwhile, Dendy just holding strong at the bottom. He's got the blink, he's got the Yules. This is playmaking Dendy. Yes, Death Prophet, maybe not the hero that you always kind of associated with, but when you get blink Yules, feels very good. You know, you can initiate on the target that you want. You can save yourself from these silences, and now he's looking in towards that clutch BKB. That's going to be timed up with the BKB of Crystallize. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all know where we're going next. We're looking for that rush.
Roshan finish off those objectives, and then high ground will be upon us. Absolutely the right game for BKBs. Really on both sides, but especially for Na'Vi against that Kunkka, the Skywrath Mage, even the Night Stalker. It's really important to have that magic community.
Kind of crazy, but honestly, like it's very important that in a Luna game the BKB is good. And that makes the game just feel so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You kind of have to buy this item on the hero every single time. And when it's just up against the Zeus, that felt awful in game 1. But now he's going to feel protected. Up against the Kunkka especially. That's like the real big one.
You're absolutely right.
Too.
You have to buy it either way, but some games it feels like a pretty heavy slot item there. Things taking a little bit more of a passive turn. It looks like Na'Vi might be rendezvousing in the mid lane here for a potential smoke play. And Vici just all spread about their jungle, looking to soak up this farm.
So in terms of the problems, though, last game for Na'Vi, even when they found themselves into the Aegis, the Cheese, the Refresher, the fights, taking those, the Vision. We need to see if they're going to be a little bit more disciplined. I think so far this game, the Vision has looked good, especially against a Night Stalker team. Right now, they get a couple fresh wards here. They took the tier 2, dropped a ward, got a ward in the mid lane now, too. And I like it when you have these kind of diagonal splits with your wards down the mid, because a lot of times you can kind of spot which half of the map.
Oh, bottom lane, Belor kind of walks around the tree line, bumps into Kunkka, able to put off the Doom, and this is going to be another death for Ori. Absolutely nothing he can do. Managed to get off the boat before the Doom was used, but really to no avail.
He just died drunk, numbed the pain a little bit.
Stuff it down with some brown.
And Fenrir just forced to kind of hop himself away here, trying not to get glimpsed. And
a
there is that
scary.
ward, though. If he pops, they could go for this kill.
And
Lil's trying to fake it a little.
Got it. Right into the kinetic field. The rest of Na'Vi, one pick turns into 2. And now I think Na'Vi head towards this bottom lane, and that last outer tower probably soon to go down as 11. Well, that's going to be a Dark Rift out of there. He knows that they're on the way, and he makes it.
It is a good thing Glimpse was used, because he was actually just in range as that was happening. So,
but he did clear out the creep wave, so that buys them a little bit of time. This tower has backdoor protection.
And Ori's so important for tower defenses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You just need this boat combination.
I am a little concerned, though, for the side of Vici about how much farm Crystallize is getting. He has been pretty much unchecked the last couple minutes, and you can really see it on his bottom line. Now the Hurricane Pike completed. Even got a Scotty queued up. Very aggressive.
No Lincolns this time. Not coming out. I'm not really seeing this Scythe threat instantly popping out of Ori in this game.
Oh, this Luna is having an absolute field day so far. That bottom tower gets finished off. Link up to the high ground. General could be in some trouble, but Lil comes in with a Static Storm kinetic field. This Sand King is pretty darn tanky.
Reinforcements are coming.
Glimpse back now. Sand King will end up falling, but Dendy pops the Exorcism. Can they get more out of this?
Man, Vedlar's just kind of wandering around here. He's like, get off my teammates.
Well, Yule's Scepter now onto the Night Stalker as Fenrir tries to make it out, but Spirit Siphon. Hell of a spell when you're trying to chase him down.
Oh, Fenrir,
nice little juke. Misses the Spirit Siphon, or the Crypt Swarm, but it doesn't matter. Dendy still gets the kill.
Look how aggressively postured Lil and Crystallize still are.
Oh, yeah. Crystallize just farming the enemy Ancients. It's like, no worries, guys. Now they get a glimpse
on
onto Ori. Lil says, hey, guys, you looking for another kill? This pirate's drunk, and we can click him down. It's a 4-staff forward from Crystallize. His Hurricane Pike, actually. That is the 10-second BKB, but gets another one on this pirate. This is basically a support Kunkka now. His farm is negligible.
Yeah, he's down below Velor. This is...
that's not good.
No, it's...
He can't
this
even
is one of
finish
the
the
worst
Shadow Blade.
like Ori games I've ever seen.
Whoa.
He's so typically the player that tends to carry them.
Yeah. Very much so. 10K net worth. Not insurmountable. Still some options for Vici. Na'Vi have to break high ground, and even though they do have some pretty good pushers, not particularly easy against heroes like Kunkka, Underlord, Monkey King. They do really shine in those high ground defense scenarios.
Yep.
So Na'Vi have to continue to respect that.
There will always be the crit of destiny, but he is so far slowed down for Ori. I mean, you look at this guy. He doesn't have a Shadow Blade yet, And
yeah,
he
that's-
probably wants a BKB, but he won't be able to go for it because he needs that desperation item, I'm sure, of the Daedalus first. And he's going to rely on that to maybe win him that one fight to get the BKB, and then he'll go back for the other Daedalus, and maybe they'll be back in the game at that point. Paparazzi, of course, with his BKB, and then maybe into his Echo Saber, he'll be able to carry through some of these fights. There's always a chance. With the way Na'Vi took some of those fights in Game 1, I'm really not ruling it out. They need to be very cautious about their vision. And again, they've been doing a great job so far, but it all matters when they go high ground and when they go for these Roche fights.
Right, and Roshan might be the objective that Na'Vi want next. 27 minutes in, absolutely no movements towards the pit. Maybe this is Vici going for it.
Velar has his Blink Dagger. He's making his way over there. He doesn't have the TP scroll, though, so it seems like they know, but they can't fully group up just quite yet.
Lotus Orb picked up on 11. This is the debut of it with this potential fight.
I like this. Velar TP's up. Just a
Scans
5-man.
on top of each other, and neither finding anything. But both teams with their heads in the same place, Trent.
Yeah, Velar just blinks in and stomps, thinking they were actually in the pit. Bold move.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been. Remember, Underlord is amazing against Roche. Firestorm, one of few spells that actually works on Roche with that HP burn. So you kind of have to go for plays like that, knowing that if Vici sneak in there, they can kill Roche in less than 20 seconds or something.
For now, they will pop the nighttime as Na'Vi go in.
It's Na'Vi themselves. Yeah, they'll deploy the Exorcism, so pretty committed to the pit. Roche not falling that quickly as they only have 2 heroes inside, but the rest of Na'Vi looking to protect this. Lil kind of baiting back and forth, but Fenrir moves in as they set up a torrent onto Crystallize. Glimmer Cape helps pick him up, but Vici being very hesitant about initiating this.
Look at that Spirit Vessel. It's a good item.
Regen rune spawns. Out comes the Pit of Malice. Boat into the pit, but the BKB is on.
Oh, perfect target.
Roche getting low. It falls to the Radiant. Aegis picked up by 11. Vici managed to steal it. Monkey King is doomed, but it's going to expire before too long. The first death will be on General, and Vici have actually taken the edge in this chaotic bout around the Roche pit. Now Velor on the run. He's been dusted. Blink Dagger not going to be possible. And that's going to be 2 down on the side of Na'Vi. Aegis still in tow. It is on the Underlord. Maybe not ideal, but just wanted to pick it up.
That was the perfect target if you're Vici to get doomed. Already used the ultimate. Already popped his BKB, gets doomed. It's like, okay, thanks. I still pop Jingu. I still do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he couldn't find anyone else. It's understandable. And even though Underlord got that little bit of nerf, I mean, as you're saying, he still has the Firestorm damage. Doesn't get the percent base, but he still gets Firestorm waves. So that's A-okay.
Yep.
He helps clean it up. They get not only the Aegis, but they got the Aegis kill too. Wasn't even a snatch. So friendly goal going the way of Vici Gaming. Couple of kills.
It's like a 3K swing, 3.5K swing, something like that. Definitely putting a dent in this lead that Na'Vi's picked up.
Oh, Na'Vi.
Yeah, this game's still very far from over,
You got to imagine that has a real mental toll, though. Even though like you're ahead and it feels good, but you got to be thinking about game 1. You got to be reliving these moments. So many of the same heroes here.
Mm-hmm. Shadowblade on Ori. Thought he might go for the initiation, but opts not to do it. Yeah, honestly, I mean, Vici have a really good team for fighting around the Roche pit. It's not really that surprising that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
So much AoE. Heroes like Night Stalker that can kind of just run in and out like that.
All right, Na'Vi are going to try and go in here, though. Still a while until daytime. They're moving in the correct direction. They're going to find some heroes. There is an Invis Kunkka here. Who's got the detection? Dust right away on Velar. He's prepped and ready. Smoke pops. Goes in. He stomps him.
Beautifully done. No hesitation, but Velor, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Paparazzi clicks him down. He's the first casualty of this fight. Crystallize in deep on the high ground alone, but General's there to back him up with a stun on 2. Ori getting low. Now he falls as the BKB from Crystallize is used. Boat doesn't do a hell of a lot, and it'll be a 1-for-1.
Oh, they still managed to get a kill there, though, but like all those spells got off from the Kunkka just because he didn't pop the dust.
Wow, why didn't he dust?
He thought they were just on the high ground, so it's understandable. He blinks, he stomps. He probably thought he hit no one.
That's true. It was such a clutch play, he didn't even realize what he did. Okay. That's sort of a heartbreaker, actually.
Yeah, but he gets focused down, and they're able to then kill the Kunkka. So, I mean, support Kunkka for support Doom. It's a little bit of a wash here.
And the Luna still survives. Or double damage on, and now Butterfly queued up next. She's still #1 on net worth by a big margin.
It's also important that you took a fight during nighttime while the Radiant are looking to push an advantage of an Aegis. So you kind of removed a bunch of time where they're looking to take over the map. So they still have no vision outside of their own half. So
You were right about Ori wanting to go for that magic immunity. BKB next on the docket post Shadowblade.
I don't know. I mean, I like this, but I kind of feel like he might need the damage first. At this point, though, Paparazzi's actually gotten a little control with the 50% Boundless Strike crit that we're just going to let him be the crit of Destiny, and Ori's going to try and live.
Catch onto Lil, but Glimmer Cape and Force Staff actually helps keep him alive. Dust gets used, but it does not
General
connect.
just gets silenced, though, from that ward on the high ground. They're not going to initiate on him, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of reinforcements here. Doom is available. Velor will go ahead and drop it on the Underlord. Now Dendi blinks in, has the Exorcism. Looks like 11 is going to be the target that falls first. The rest of Vici just trying to get out of here. That is the Aegis of the Immortal, though. Remember, Underlord was the one that picked it up. Still a Shrine also. Velor needs to be a little careful here. That's a Doom onto the Monkey King, as now 11 gets killed for real this time. Luna in some trouble, but actually surviving. Goes down to the Mystic Flare, but Vici are out of resources. Dendi's on the other side, just cleaning house. BKB from Paparazzi. TP, it's close and he lives. But another disastrous fight for Vici. Luna, the only one to die. Na'Vi get 4 and clean up the Aegis.
Yeah, with that stomp there from Melo, it actually looked like he was hitting the Doom.
Yeah, that's what I
There's so many auras on the Underlord.
It actually looked like a Doom. And I was like, how did he have Doom again? That's not a refresher shard. So I miscalled the first Doom. Those were auras. The second one on the Monkey King. That was the real Doom.
That was a very important one.
My apologies on that. That was
Paparazzi's got to carry this game. And if you can get the Doom up on him before all these shenanigans, fine and dandy. So things looking pretty damn good now for Na'Vi.
Spirit Vessel Trent.
It's okay, buddy.
What can I say?
You'll get there
the
one
color
of these
blindness
days.
has come back to haunt me once again.
That's a great excuse.
That's the crutch I'm going to lean on, my friend. BKB queued up for Sand King. He's got 4,100 gold himself, so still feeling pretty rich. About dead even with the Underlord. He hasn't picked up an item in quite some while, but just going to be the Crimson Guard up next after picking up that Lotus Orb. So nothing too surprising in the inventory of 11. But also the Aghanim Scepter is up on Skywrath.
Yeah,
always
pretty important in the last game, of course, for Velor.
Big jump in the damage output from this hero.
Yeah, Atlanta's been, I don't know, it kind of feels relatively quiet this game. I guess he just hasn't been in like the forefront there. He doesn't have like a pickoff partner. So they haven't done a lot of these just like two-man gang squads across the map or anything. You know, he doesn't have that Clockwork. He doesn't have that Beastmaster. So relatively minimal action outside of team fights, but
he's had pretty high kill participation, though. 13 kills on the Skywrath Mage out of 15.
They got.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Eon Disc out on Dendi's Death Prophet. Very core item there. Incredible this game.
So Vici were already looking pretty strong overall in terms of high ground defense. And then they took the first Roche and the Aegis, stole that away from Na'Vi. That has delayed so much of Na'Vi's plan that things start to look just a little bit dicey, I think. Of course, now we're getting up to 20k net worth for the Luna, but also Monkey King staying right there. You know, he's hanging out. They don't really have that true secondary core to partner along with him, though, of course, just because Ori is so far behind. Like, it's an Underlord, yes, but it's not really the same thing as, like, Luna DP. Definitely feels a little bit better to have on your team at this point in the game than Monkey King Underlord.
Underlord's annoying, but he's in the front line. You can't necessarily burst him down. You always have to worry about the Dark Rift, not the same as that Kunkka with like a Daedalus ready to crit your back line sort of a threat. So definitely understood there. Na'Vi have been hanging on to a pretty decent lead, but at the same time, Vici have been hanging in there. And like you said, the Monkey King has not slowed down his farm. With that Scotty and Lincoln's on the way, he's going to be harder and harder to kill in these next fights. But you can make the same case for Luna. She'll have this little window, I think, where she has Butterfly before MKB comes out.
Yeah.
Monkey King did have an MKB queued up before, but looks like he's opting to go back for the Lincolns instead.
Extremely strong Lincoln Sphere game. I mean, it means you might have to waste something on a Glimpse. It's fantastic against the Burrow Strike, and then I hear there's this ability called Doom, also kind of annoying.
Ori? Well, he gets glimpsed back. Not quite on the money for Na'Vi, but Velor, he blinks in with the hoof stomp, and they're going to go for this. Ori's in a lot of trouble. Now Silence. The right clicks from Crystallize. They commit with an epicenter. Doom gets used. It's on the MK. He's BKB'd. He's Lotus Orb. Doom's desperate, or Underlord's desperately trying to save him, and he does. Na'Vi now backing up as the boat flies. Exorcism still online. Fenrir running out of the base with a hoof stomp again. Role-playing as Centaur as he continues to initiate these fights, but this time it'll bite him in the ass as he writes a check that he can't cash.
It's only going to be the buyback from the VG Gaming Kunkka, though, so you kind of feel good about that. You know, that's what you're trading your Doom for. Now, if Dendy goes down, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, Dendy's Eon Disc helping him out. Haste Rune and healed up from the Spirits of Exorcism. They're going to get away with this. Economic damage done to Vici, furthering that lead of Na'Vi.
Yeah, Denny actually chills at the shrine, though, so they're going to keep hunting. And, Lil.
Hello, Lil.
No.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough for you there. They've got a dust, so the Glimmer Cape will be rendered ineffective, and they do get a little pick-me-up. Better the Disruptor than the DP,
It's
but
true.
I don't know if they would have actually killed the DP there either. So.
I'd be a little bitter if I was Lil, though. Like, really? You dragged him the whole way here, man? Come on. How dare you? But yes, of course. You're fine with that.
But,
so much forward vision, too, and then...
Yeah. Speaking of economic damage, though, Trent, Ori, the one that had to buy back there, hurting his economy even more. That BKB feels so far away still, and it's 37 minutes into this game.
He is very close to being surpassed by Lineup.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
This is going to be a core Skywrath at this point with a Hex now queued up.
And General is under vision down here from an Observer Ward here. They really want to try and get a kill, but he's sitting on a 9-second BKB, so easier said than done.
General, silenced up, dodges the Pit of Malice, but he's got some friends. Valor again with that hoof stomp.
Almost leading them in here, pincering from the sides, but Dendy as well as Crystallize, just a bit risky for that move. Hold the high ground.
Glimpse back on the Monkey King. And that'll be the end of it. Na'Vi just defend their high ground, and Vici not feeling confident, he'll just back out.
Yeah, it helps them get some vision down, just kind of what was going on. The nice Disruptor play you can make there, of course. You put the Sentry in the middle, do kinetic on both, easy D-wards. Value Town. Gotta love supports with the value plays. You can do the same thing with AA. There you go. Helping them out once again. Buy your Spirit Vessel, D-ward.
Hashtag,
wow, this is a clinic.
Hashtag Trent Facts.
Yeah. That's great. I should use that. Top lane. Levin's going to push the wave. General still has a BKB. Not really in a lot of trouble. Okay, now that's an Invis Room Paparazzi.
Uses the Blink Dagger and scans on both sides in the same area. That'll be enough for General. Sort of think twice about his positioning, but staying in the tree line. He's got rotations on the way. Paparazzi uses the Wukong's command, but Crystallize actually ends up on the other side of it. He just wanted to go for 11, but it counters the Monkey King, who brings down Velor. This is going to work out okay for Vici. Now with the Dark Rift queued up, he actually decides to cancel it with the Doom down. Maybe thinking they can take a fight. Lil getting punched hard by Fenrir, but he does make it up to the high ground. Arcane Bolts will bring him down. It looks great for Vici. The Exorcism from Dendy not doing much.
Not the Force Staff I think they wanted there from the angle between General and Lil.
No.
Sends him right into the enemy team. And again, the Dooms just, I don't know. He seems determined to do it, but every time it's post-ultimate and the ulti's still going.
That was another, yeah. Monkey King had his ultimate and PKB on when he got doomed again. It's what, the third time this game that's happened?
It feels like it.
At least the second. And
Anyway.
now Vici walked into Roshan, and again with the Underlord, this feels relatively safe. He's not even using the Firestorm to bring it down.
Ever since the nerfs, it's just like, look, I mean, look at this Monkey King. He looks great.
Yeah, that's true. And they've got
Firestorm.
the Solar Crest too on the Night Stalker, so that makes it even easier. But regardless, it doesn't matter, Trent. It's an Aegis Cheese going the way of Vici for the second time this game. However, this go around, it will be uncontested. And Monkey King will get that second life in the Aegis as he picks up his Lincolns.
So important to the plan of Na'Vi to have that Aegis and Cheese. Even though they're 7k up, now 6k up. Oh, far range here, initiation.
Yeah, she does have that Butterfly, though. He's going to try to flurry away. There's the Hurricane Pike, BKB to get away from the Kunkka combo.
Oh, they're just going to chase the Great Force of the BKB here.
There's no Exorcism. This is not a fight that Na'Vi really want to take. The Glimpse is successful, but now Luna, without a BKB, caught in the Pit of Malice, gets obliterated. Vici.
The Monkey's back already.
They're in hot pursuit. Fenrir in the front lines. Lil goes down again. It's 2 more kills going the way of Vici Gaming, and that lead that Na'Vi had very quickly dissipate.
They're coming mid with the Underlord. Velor is just there. He's dead.
Wow. Great play from Vici using that Dark Rift so aggressively, and now they can just shove in mid and probably grab a tower.
11. He's got 225 damage.
Jeez.
Say hello to the tower.
Gotta love that atrophy aura. Backdoor protection gets broken, and this will be the easiest siege they'll have all game.
Yeah. And
Also,
it's still
2 siege
lasting
creeps
for
on
quite
top
a
of that.
while.
They're
going to force a BKB out of this, or a buyback out of this Luna, but she
I
has
think
no
so.
BKB for 10 more seconds, so it's not really much point popping back.
It's a potential tier 3 kill. They have the glyph. With double siege, they will kill this fast. Only the Doom has bought back. Luna holding hers for now. Disruptor still in the grave for 5.
When you have 230 damage on your Underlord. Who cares if he's up front?
And they might go for Barracks. Velor again with the hoof stomp. He gets off the Doom on Monkey King, this time without the Wukong's command, but it will be the end of him. Ultimate from Crystallize
Big
as
burrow
well as
strike.
Dendy. They're doing pretty good damage here, but Vici are just tanking through it. They're trying to do what return damage they can. Luna without the BKB is falling fast. Dendy as well. This Exorcism just isn't doing enough. The Monkey King is too big. Velor does not have a buyback, but Dendy does. He gets back in the fray. It's the end of the Aegis. 11 getting low. Static Storm,
There's
Kinetic
still
Field,
cheese.
not enough.
And he's still sitting on 160 damage.
The buyback from Dendy not doing a hell of a lot without the Exorcism. Not a very scary hero. Vici will get the mid lane of Barracks, but do they back up? It doesn't seem like it. 11's got another 160 damage from the Atrophy Aura, and he says, guys, let's keep on going. They jump on Dendy. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Now 11 maybe in some trouble, stuck inside the kinetic field. Luna trying to do what damage she can, but the supporting cast is here. The Underlord's just too damn beefy. Navi's tournament life on the line here as Vici have regained control so quickly.
Only General sitting with buyback at this moment for the side of Navi. Things very tense. And it looks like VG might have had their fill. They're going to hold up here. In fact, Oriole will go back home, come back with some bottle charges and a BKB to boot. And
Okay,
try
finally
and heal
gets
up
it.
his allies here. And there's some for you, some for you, some for you. Oh, look at that guy. Look at tossing around 3 of them. And that Monkey King again, though, paparazzi. Yes, he got doomed before, but just... It feels terrible. I mean, the Jingu is still going through. He's still just healing up.
It's just not the target you want. Now the initiation onto Crystallize. He's got the BKB, gets glimmered but dusted immediately. There's that cloven hoof stomp from the Doom. But will it be the end of him? Kunkka with the boat finishes him off. Now General with the BKB, desperately trying to survive. It'll
like he's
keep him
doing
alive.
everything. He's hitting 3 4-man burrow strikes, and they can't get damage on top of them. They're
Tier
just
3
back onto the
falls.
buildings.
Crystallize has the BKB, but it might be too little, too late. He heads back, makes it to the well, but the Barracks will be rubble here, Trent. Melee first, range shortly after. It's a 4v5 Doom without buyback.
Offensive tipping begins. 11 looking to close this one on
Uh-oh.
out.
Catching a little bit of lag here.
Well, everything's still fine
All right,
inside
I'm casting
the game.
off your
I can tell
screen
you.
then. So the final fight, perhaps. The
Oh, we're back.
Wukong's command doing big-time damage. 11 looking to be the taxi service on the way out. He cancels it instead. Could this